Greg Pak and Raphael and Aiko continue Vader's hunt for Luke Skywalker as the Dark Lord pursues the Jedi across the frozen wastes of Jekara, but one of Vader's own people decides to give the young pilot a helping hand against the Sith. Greg Pak continues Vader's path of violent revenge against Luke Skywalker this issue, pitting both ace pilots against one another in a really great action-heavy portion of his story. It was great that Pak begun tying a bunch of his previous Vader plots together, like Sly Moore backing Luke in the battle against Vader to try and kill him off, and also bringing back Droid Crush, along with his really cool little army to aid Luke in the fight. It was a real fun element in what would otherwise be kind of a simple, maybe a little bit boring dogfight. Fear and confronting who you really are is a big part of this story as well, with Vader trying to prepare his son for his confrontation and wanting to take everything from his son and everything his son holds dear, like his friends, like Han Solo, leading to the big reveal at the end that Han may or may not have died. I mean, we know he's not dead. The shuttle he was on just seemingly blew up and Luke thinks he's dead, and Vader can feed off that anger from his son, and it might cause Luke to briefly tap into the dark side, which was a really cool way to frame the battle with one another, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. Raphael Aiko continues his fabulous artwork for the series, continuing the color red motif to represent the dark side and all the hate and anger that Vader has and is trying to spill out onto his son, leading to some really great looking pages there at the start, before we transition over into some fast-paced action you would expect from a dogfight between two expert pilots. I really loved how Aiko always pictured and framed Vader literally right behind Luke in his X-Wing the entire time, almost breathing down his neck and kind of hanging over him like some sort of grim spectre. It added some great tension to the fight. Darth Vader issue 16 was a great War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in that expanded on Vader and Luke's dogfight seen in some of the other issues, tying pretty well into Pak's other subplots involving people who want to kill Vader, as well as Bokku the Hutt's revolt against the other Hutt clans, while also continuing to expand Vader, taking apart Luke through his fear. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Darth Vader issue 16 finds the Dark Lord again stuck in his own rage-filled mind, knowing that his son yearns for his father but he will not find him there, so he clings to his friends, wanting to be rid of the Force, but none can escape it, and no one can escape who they really are, so he knows his son will come to him. Vader knows that if he doesn't, he will kill Han Solo. Vader learns that Luke's X-Wing is on approach, but it suddenly veers off, returning to orbit. Vader intends to go after him as Luke knows that he can't beat Vader on his own, and if he stays, he will kill Leia, Chewie, and Lando. He tells Leia that Vader wants him to join him, making the princess know that this sounds like a worse plan now. Luke knows that they are in the clear, so they need to go and save Han while he deals with Vader. Luke races back up towards the crime syndicate ships in orbit above the Executor as the criminals decide to take the ship down, firing out its Magna harpoons, which grab onto Luke's X-Wing and overload R2. Vader arrives, firing on Luke and inadvertently freeing him from the harpoons and cables, making Luke know he's not trying to kill him. However, Vader continues firing, blowing up a ship near Luke as the pilot thinks that maybe Vader is actually going to kill him this time. The X-Wing falls into the planet's orbit, crashing into the snowfields below. As R2 gets to work repairing what he can, Vader returns, so Luke fires on him with his blaster. Bokku the Hutt meanwhile tells Ochi that Vader was meant to support his bid for Solo, but instead he's taking Solo for himself. Ochi knows that Vader merely promised he might get what he deserves, and in his opinion, the Hutt is getting off easy, being that he's still alive. Ochi leaves to deal with another loser as Sly Moore contacts Vader, telling him that she doesn't intend to help him. Sly sends the army of Droid Crush's drones after Vader, which begin ripping up his ship. Ochi attacks Sly for her betrayal after overhearing her communication, meeting her in battle with a vibroblade, but the woman says that she is still serving the Empire by doing this, and in doing so, serving the Emperor, something Ochi used to understand. Luke meanwhile watches as some droids come for him, covering the area in a smokescreen as he confronts them with his lightsaber. The droids however are there to help, aiding R2 in fixing the X-Wing. Vader continues his pursuit, firing on Luke and the droids as they finish their repairs, telling Luke to get out of there. Luke tries to ask why they are helping, but only learns that their client wants Luke kept alive and he better thank the Empire for that. Luke takes off as Vader returns, coming in right behind him as Ochi and Sly's battle heads outside, talking about Vader's motivations and how he fears Skywalker since he knows his true strength, and if Palpatine ever claimed Luke for himself, he wouldn't need Vader. Sly knows that Vader can't kill her without betraying the Empire, but Ochi knows that she is the one who betrayed the Empire first. Sly thinks that she merely tested the weakest link and it snapped. She stabs Ochi in the shoulder, knowing that in his fear, he will return to the Emperor, humbled just like she was. Ochi contacts Bokku as he sees the Hutt ship leaving, wondering what he's up to. Bokku doesn't want to spoil the surprise as Vader continues hunting Luke, telling Ochi that he knows all about Sly, ordering Ochi to kill her. Ochi tells him about the Hutts going after the Empire to get Solo for themselves as Luke and Vader watch as the Imperial shuttle transporting Han explodes. Vader senses his son's anguish, knowing now he is ready to learn what real fear is.